Hey guys, it's the Crypto Cowboy. It's about June 11, 1:30 Chicago time here, and I am jumping on making a video about Litecoin. I know we've been doing Bitcoin mostly, but since today's move are a little bit more aggressive and impulsive, let's take a look at the wave counts I've got and what I think is happening up here. So one of the counts that I have, it's this, where I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to complete a wave 1. Then I have a wave 2, and now we're in the middle of this wave 3. There's a couple of issues that I have with this wave count, and I'll explain them to you. I do want to keep this wave count in the forefront as a primary count for now because I think the Litecoin is moving aggressively to the top side, and I have some confirmation from the daily charts on the candles as well. But I'll show you my other two counts, and then we'll kind of compare them. So just to explain, the issues I have with this count is the fact that this wave 2, so on this wave 1 here, we have a pullback in wave 2 and a pullback in wave 4. So when I look at this and I count it like that, this wave 4 is very small compared to this wave 2, and it shouldn't be. It's not illegal, but it's almost like you're trying to force the count and putting a wave 4 in here to give yourself this wave 1, because if you look at this wave 4 should have been much larger to compare with this wave 2. And if I go and I think that this is the wave that kind of compares to this, but it doesn't mean that it's a 4, and that's why I'm doing it as a wave 2 and giving this possibility of Litecoin to move higher, especially based on this kind of latest aggressions up. So this is the issue that I have with it being a wave 1, the fact that the wave 4 is smaller than wave 2. Okay, let's say that this is correct and we're pulling into a wave 2 here. Now we're subdividing and we're starting to build the internals of this wave 3 up. Now, since this wave 2 is so shallow and very small compared with the size of this wave 1, usually on a healthy market you would want this wave 2 to come down here anywhere between 50 to maybe 61%, maybe even 786, and then you move up higher. Okay, so what's going on here, because this wave 2 was so shallow, I don't think it reached like 25% of this move up. That means that this move up here has to be extremely aggressive. Now we are getting some indications that that's happening, but we're not entirely convinced yet. Why? Because we have a lot of overlapping moves into this junction up here, and this tells me that there's something going on here that I don't understand yet, and I wanted to go to the lower time frames and see how we can dissect this. Now this is just in terms of analyzing. Trading these legs is a little bit different because you can have levels that you can trade against, but in terms of analyzing the move and where we're going, I think that's important. So I'm going to delete this and show you quickly the other two counts, and then we're going to come back to this and kind of look at the internals here. So basically this one calls, like I said, for a 1, 2 and a larger move up in 3. Let's go to the secondary count here, where it says that actually this is the wave 4, basically what I was talking before, right? We have a wave 2 here, we have a wave 4 here, and then we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are about to complete this wave 5. Now what's going on here with this wave 5? And this has to subdivide into 5 waves because it's a terminal move. So it doesn't look like it's an ending diagonal, so you can simply go and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 waves here, right? So now if I take this wave 5 and pull it here, now what? Now you have 5 waves, and after a 5-wave move, you're supposed to have a 3-wave correction, right? So there is an ABC here. So the problem I have is that I would have to count this, like I'm trying to find a way to count this as a terminal move, and I don't find a way to do it just yet. I guess that's my point. So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that means that this has to be another wave 1, right? And this has to be a wave 2, right? And now we're pulling back into a wave 3. I mean, we're going up into a wave 3, which we have started. If you wanted to, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull back in another 2, and then we go back up higher. Okay, so what is this? Is there a way that we can look at this and modify it and say, okay, fine, maybe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take this wave 5 and push it up higher as an extended wave? It's still not over, right? Because you still need a 5-wave structure within this 5th wave. Let's say that if wave 5 is extended, you would have to go 1, 2, 3, maybe a little higher, 4 back down, and then go up in 5. So this has to develop, this has to finish before we can find out exactly what's going on in this sub count. How else can we count this? Let's say for us to give us a terminal move into the wave 5. Let's say that you take this, you pull this apart, and then you take this wave 3 and move it up higher. You take this one, which is 5, and then just move it, and then say, okay, we are still developing this wave 3 to the top side as a final wave move in 5. But you can now see that this wave 5, how large and how long this wave 5 is compared to this wave 1, right? And usually this 5th waves, if I am to measure, just to kind of measure this and say, okay, I'm going to go 5 versus 1, and I'm going to pull this down, and you can see that 100%. So for this wave 5 to equal the length of wave 1 here, we would have to have stopped at 108. Okay, we passed that. We are at about 135. So if I pull this higher, now we are at the 138. So let's say that is 16Y8, which is another, pretty decent level of an extension of a wave 5 compared to wave 1. You would be at 148. Okay, so how can you have now the subdivision here happening into the wave 5, where you go, this is 3, and then this is 4, because you still need that, and then this would have to be 5 to complete this 5, right? Now, how do you subdivide this wave 3? I got an issue with this. How do you subdivide this wave 3 into 5 waves? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's not allowed because this wave 3 comes into the area of wave 1. Okay, so unless this is some sort of an ending diagonal which you cannot have in a 3rd wave, they only happen in 5th waves or in wave C's. So this cannot be an ending diagonal. So I gotta allow for this wave 3 to go higher. This cannot be a 3rd wave. All right. So then we would have to pull this wave 5 even higher to, either at 200% or even higher over at 2618. Okay, now I think I got something to work with, because this wave 3 can go higher, and I can subdivide it. I can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would look something like this, and it would be, we would subdivide this wave 3 and go decompose this as an impulse, and now we have a 1, 2, and now you would have this wave 3. Gosh, there's like a series of 1, 2s here that are crazy. So we would have to subdivide this as well. So this would have to go even higher. This would have to go here maybe, and then we will have to subdivide this into another move, 3 ratio analysis, decompose this as an impulse. Now this would be 3, right? And now you would have 1, 2. We are doing this 3 now. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would complete this green 3. Pull back in 4. Go up in 5. Complete this 3 blue. Come back in 4. Go up in 5, and then complete this extended 5th wave. Okay, so you can see just by looking at this, at how, not necessarily difficult, but how important it is that you get within these waves and start to look at them as having to be complete structures within the waves. And every time you try to short this, you got to think about this stuff, and where does the move end before you make that decision. Or if for people that short into rising prices, how risky it can be that you can actually be exploding up instead of pulling back down. All right, because we have a trend up here. Okay, and this is only by counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now imagine if this is actually a 1, 2, and we're exploding higher in wave 3. Okay, so how can I make this and say that this move here, it's terminal and it's about to finish. What I'm trying to, and I can't find ways yet, to tell me that. So I'm still having to wait for this to develop. So if I go, let me just go inside here and just look really quickly. I think I have one more count. Yes, I do have one more count, and I'm just going to run this through. So this is a 1, 2, and we are moving into this actually wave 3 going up here. And this wave 1 goes much higher. So let's see, this is 3, 4, and I go, okay, this is, and now I still have to subdivide this fifth wave, 3, 4, which is, I think it's kind of similar with what we've done before. It's maybe that this things are off a little bit, but I would still have to have, in this wave 5, I would still have to have a subdivision here. So I'm running into the same problem. How do I divide this? Do I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a wave 1, 2, and then a larger 3 going up? So we got issues here. We got issues, and Litecoin looks pretty strong. Let me go back here and just kind of look inside the structures and see what's going on here. 3-hour chart, and then we go 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go to a 1-hour chart and subdivide this. So this is the 3 green, and I want to see kind of how this develops. So we have a 1, 2, 3 here, pull back in 4, and now we're doing an extended 5 here, which goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we might get close to at least a temporary top in Litecoin here, to about 140, maybe even, let's say, 145, and then we should be probably pulling back in another wave 4 green, and then go up in 5. So kind of tread cautiously around here. I wouldn't be aggressive on this just yet. Continue to watch it develop, and now you kind of know my thought process and kind of how I'm looking at it. But the bottom line is, we have bullish developments, and you got to wait for the market to stop, and then you can probably get some more accurate counts. Okay, but basically, very important levels here that can be pulled, I think, are this level here, which is top of wave 1, so 122. 122.01, right? That's this level. So anything below this, I would kind of start to be cautious, and then the other level is 97. But if we're coming that low, that means we have bigger troubles ahead. So for right now, just kind of watch these levels. Kind of some intermediary levels here that you can look at is, let's say here, maybe the top of this wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I would watch definitely the top of this wave here and see how we're pulling back. Very, very short near term, I would watch the bottom of this wave 4 right here, 125.45. Okay, so you kind of have some levels, to kind of pick and trade against if you want to, but continue to watch the development here. It's really, really interesting. So talk to you guys soon. I think I'm about 13-minute mark, so we'll talk later. Yeah, I'm gonna leave below these videos again those links to the Telegram channels that I've opened, and I've done a Telegram channel for crypto waves and analysis for Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and we'll try to add a few more. Then I have one for Forex and one for commodities. So come on there. We have more updated charts maybe every few hours, and then there should be a chat room that's associated with it, so you can share ideas and stuff. But just come and visit us. So give me some thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.